Just when you think things can't get any crazier on the world stage, Ukraine is going to give Russia an ultimatum. Yep, here we go. Hey everybody, Johnny here, Don't Speak News, with some crazy news that not many people are reporting on. But from Ukraine's non-president, Zelensky, a new Ukrainian ballistic missile will hit something very important in Moscow. Then Russia will be given an ultimatum. Either leave Ukraine or we'll destroy Moscow and St. Petersburg. Now keep in mind, Zelensky's term of office expired in May of this year, 2024. He's no longer president. So for him to say what is quoted above is stunning. From whom did Ukraine get such a new ballistic missile? What is it they plan to destroy in Moscow before their ultimatum? How many of these new ballistic missiles do they have that they would even dare think they can destroy Moscow and St. Petersburg? Unless maybe Ukraine didn't denuclearize when they told the whole world they had done so in the early 90s. Could Ukraine still be in possession of former Soviet nuclear weapons? Quite possible. Iran has some. What else could it be that they could dare even claim to be able to destroy Moscow and St. Petersburg? Wow. I mean, just when you think it can't get any more nuts. And then what I put on don'tspeaknews.com just a little while ago from antiwar.com, this is a repost. If World War III breaks out, it wouldn't be contained in Europe, according to the Russians. And they say that the U.S. will face much harsher consequences for backing the Kursk invasion. They said the consequences for the U.S. could be much harsher than those they're already experiencing. They know where and what areas we are reacting in practical terms. So the U.S. claims it was not involved in the planning of the Kursk offensive, but it did allow Ukraine to use U.S.-provided armored vehicles, missiles, and bombs. Well, yeah, give me a break. Most of those forces were made up of U.S. and NATO mercenaries and regular troops. It's ridiculous anymore to claim otherwise. But anyway, that's what they're doing. And then we have this. Russia's refining their nuclear doctrine, according to Lavrov, their foreign minister. Western officials are behaving like unruly kids playing with matches, according to the country's top diplomat. Moscow is refining its nuclear doctrine in the face of Western policies, which appear to be intentionally geared towards escalation. That's according to Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. His comments come as Ukraine is urging Western arms donors to greenlight the use of their weapons for long-range strikes deep inside Russia. On Tuesday, Lavrov said Moscow is interpreting those requests as a distraction from the West's own role in ratcheting up tensions with Russia. This is a ruse. The West does not want to avoid escalation. The West is, as they say, asking for trouble, he told journalists during a press conference with Foreign Minister of Yemen. Lavrov argued that statements by the U.S. officials claiming that Europe would suffer first in a new world war exposed a flaw in the American geopolitical thinking. Planners in the U.S. are convinced that they can sit on the sidelines of a hypothetical war with Russia. The American mentality is that of a master who sits on the other coast, convinced of his safety and that others will do the dirty work for him. He expects others to die for him, not just Ukrainians, but also Europeans, it appears. He says U.S. officials are like small children playing with matches. The handling of nuclear weapons is a dangerous thing for the grown-ups. We have our nuclear doctrine, which is being refined at the moment. By the way, and the Americans are well aware of it. Russia's nuclear doctrine allows the deployment of weapons in retaliation for a first strike by the enemy, or when the existence of the Russian nation state is at risk. The government indicated in recent months that the document may be altered in the face of what it perceives as an existential threat posed to Russia by NATO. Indeed, a huge threat. And now, as you can see, they're even issuing ultimatums. Because make no mistake, Zelensky would never issue this kind of an ultimatum on his own. Anyone who thinks that is absolutely mentally retarded. Okay? NATO and the United States in particular gives Zelensky his orders. End of story. That's it. Anything else is absolute fake news. Zelensky makes no moves on his own. He says nothing on his own. He's just a puppet on a string that likes to do a lot of cocaine. And guess what? He's going to have to do a lot of cocaine to escape reality on this one, because Russia's going to keep pounding Ukraine as they have been for the last several days. So, just saying. And then we have Israel. as the Israeli army has now invaded the West Bank, further escalating tensions, and they gave no real reasons for doing so, other than they just wanted to do it, in my opinion. I mean, because they're getting their butts kicked in Gaza. They can't win in Gaza. They can barely hold on to the so-called vital Philadelphia crossing. And there's not going to be any agreements between Hamas and Israel. This is Armageddon. This is the beginning of the sudden destruction that Leland Jones has been talking about. And I plan on having him back on the program very soon. The last couple of days have been rough for me, by the way. Please keep me in your prayers. The gut problems have been exponentially worse for whatever reason. I think they're turning up the dials at the no-touch torture chambers here in the U.S. Just saying. Anyway, the Israeli army invaded the West Bank. No real reason given other than, oh, we have to destroy the terrorist networks there too, which is what they always say. But the Israeli army launched a sudden and completely unexplained military operation on the northern West Bank with large-scale forces not seen in years or decades. Here's all the different camps that they're attacking. I'm not going to try and pronounce all these different names, as I've tried it off the air and it doesn't work. So no explanation has been given by Israel for this latest military action. So all these different brigades in the area have declared their readiness to confront the Israeli invasion in the West Bank, with clashes currently ongoing. And yes, there are fierce clashes ongoing, guys. I've seen them on Telegram. So if you want to see more of those, just go to my Telegram account, which you can find from don'tspeaknews.com, which is home base for everything that we do. So all kinds of stories here, guys, that we can't put anywhere else. And of course, there's over 2,000 of them now. And yeah, all kinds of things here we can't speak about anywhere else. That's why we have a website. This is why it's home base for stories like this one, stories like this one, that we just can't put anywhere else. As you can see, YouTube's already taken down one of the videos that I had up here. Thankfully, it wasn't mine. And so on and so forth. Korea launching an investigation into you-know-what, and all kinds of other news that we can't speak about anywhere else. If you'd like to subscribe to the website and get an update every time I put up a new video, blog post, what have you, click the subscribe, contact Johnny button here, type in your email here, hit subscribe, and there you go. You're in. Every time a new post comes up, you'll get an email. Channel support. If you'd like to support us, we are listener supported only. Thank you so much for everyone who's done so. Click the channel support tab. All the ways to do so are listed right under there. And then YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, and Telegram. Here are all the different places where you can find our broadcasts. I'm off of Twitter. I'm off of Instagram, Facebook. They just don't work for us. We get kicked off all the time. And there you go. That's it for now. Home base as always, don'tspeaknews.com. God bless, take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.